And we are back once again with Inward Bound for Mindful Living. We are trying to cover 3 months almost worth of sessions that we did from start to finish. And I think much like the audience who's been with us, Mr. Suryarachi, I personally have grown as well. And if you track back and maybe look at some of the episodes before and now, I think I have understood more and I've become aware of it. And personally, I'm very grateful to you to that as well, because I came into this knowing you, I've known you for some time, and I had a perception of what mindfulness is, of what exactly being aware is, but to be honest, I didn't really understand the potential of it and how exactly that can be incorporated into my life. I think we looked at various personal things as well in terms of what I am sort of good at doing and how I can bring mindfulness into it, specifically being running, and since I run an ad agency, how exactly through my work, how I can incorporate it. I think it's a good opportunity maybe to, recap to our audience as well, how exactly they can incorporate it into their lives as well before we leave them this season.
Okay. Yes. One of the first things everybody asks is, okay, I have heard about mindfulness, I have read about mindfulness, and how can I practice?
Yeah.
And so we gave a lot of practical tips how to integrate. But one of the best mindfulness practices is how do you watch yourself? If you can find a quiet moment every day for a few minutes, sit down and let your body relax, and then feel your posture from tip to toe,
Yes.
and let all the tensions fade away. And when you are completely relaxed and you feel that your body is settled. When your body is settled, the only thing that tends to move is your breath. And if you start watching your breath as they go in and come out, after some time you can be one with the breath. And you can see the breath changes from short to long, sometimes some are deep and some are shallow and things like that. Then suddenly you'll find that you're thinking of something else. So you gently bring your mind back to what you have been doing, watching your breath. That's all. You keep doing that. And it sounds very simple, and that's the beauty of it. It's so simple so that you can keep doing it. And then when you are stuck in traffic, rather than cursing everything else, you start watching your breath.
That was something that I was guilty of for some time, yes.
And then you realize, okay, I can't do anything, I can't fly, not yet. Once you're on drones, so you might do differently, yes. But relax. And then what happens is you discover what happens right now. And once you learn this art of slowing down here and now, you begin to see things. For me, there are two direct benefits that you will get. One is this ability to slow down and, experience this stillness, which is always there with you, which get disturbed by the external stimuli. Secondly, once you learn to stop and watch yourself, you discover so much about yourself. And when you discover yourself, you discover others, you discover how things happen in this world. You tend to understand things in a much more holistic way, I would say. So coming back to work life, if you really look at how do you apply this into things? Now, you said you brought my memories from advertising into this. Probably we shared this, but one of the significant lessons I learned in advertising is that when we create a piece of work, we think it's a masterpiece. Every visual, every jingle we write or the storyboard is a masterpiece.
It's a child, basically.
It's a child. Then you take it to this client, and then clients don't appreciate all these things, and they have very naive comments about how it doesn't look nice or why it should be somewhere else and things like that. And when they criticize this, you feel as if they are criticizing you. Now, thanks to mindfulness, early in my advertising life, I could realize that they were criticizing the work that I did, not me. So there's a difference.
That's the distinction, yeah.
And true that the work gives me some identity and satisfaction, but when I can understand the difference between me as a concept and the work I do.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then what happens is you also can look at what you have done objectively.
Correct, yeah.
Now, once you develop that level of, how do I call it, objective, equanimous way of looking at what you have done, then you can have a very reasonable conversation with another person.
You become rational.
You become rational.
Yeah.
You may still want to push what you have,
Correct.
what you have done. I mean,
But you won't let the emotion sort of...
emotion get and so that you get the other person also to look at your point of view.
Yes.
Now, most of the time, this deep insight helps you fine tune a lot of things.
Right.
For example, when you are unhappy for something, we don't want to let go of that unhappiness because it is my unhappiness, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why when you are unhappy, if somebody comes and cracks a joke, you said, why are you saying, don't crack jokes, I'm in a pretty bad upset mood.
Unhappy, yes.
Let me be in my upset mood.
Yeah.
Same thing when we are angry. Even when we realize that we are angry, we don't want to let go of it,
yes,
because we identify ourselves, because it is one of those primary conditionings.
Correct.
Then we realize how we get this identity of me based on a lot of inputs that are coming from outside, over which we have absolutely no control, and we think that's me.
Correct.
So when you get these deep realizations, how these things happen, you can laugh at yourself and be free.
Yeah.
I think this freedom is something that we need to enjoy and experience.
And I think one of the major things that I realized was, we feel we are free, but then until you've actually liberated your mind in such a way, you're not. You're sort of cocooned, and you have trapped yourself within you.
Precisely, I like the word the cocoon. It's exactly what happens. So mindfulness is such a powerful tool, and this ability to bring your mind to the present moment and look at things, and so that it will help improve your performance in work.
Yeah.
These are, for me, very, very minute benefits that you can get, but very important benefits. Why? Because today, when you start working, the distractions is the norm.
Yes.
From your computer screen to your mobile phone
Pretty
screen.
much you go from screen to screen in your day.
It is like all screens are screaming, asking for our attention.
Yeah.
And in spite of that, we need to do. And a lot of the time people say focus, but we have been never told how to focus.
Yeah.
In which class in school
do they teach you?
They don't teach you how to focus, but they will say, learn to focus on what you are doing. Okay, we focus only if it is interesting. Then you don't have to tell anybody. When you're watching a movie.
No, absolutely.
Right. So how do you bring these other things? Now, when you learn to watch your breath, which is a very simple thing, when you watch your walk, it's a very normal, mundane.
It's your day-to-day life, pretty much.
Life.
You don't.
But what you do is you learn this ability to constantly bring back your mind to something so simple.
Yeah.
Now, when you do that, then things like work, things like studying becomes much more easier, because you are training your mind constantly to bring back to where it is.
And I think on that note, we have to take a very quick break, and we'll be right back.